Good morning everyone, and welcome to Tuesday morning's live stroll with myself and Azra. There is the most important one of the stream, and this morning it is a very chilly 5 degrees, and it does feel like this morning as well. There's a lot more of a chill this morning. You can feel it on your face, you can feel it on your hands, anything that's exposed you can feel it on. So yeah, as I said yesterday, autumn stroke winter is upon us in the UK, I think. It is the right time of year, so we shouldn't moan. I'm sure people still will, but for today, I've just got a car coming, so just bear with. For today, pretty normal day from the point of view of working. You might have seen from the title, it is not so different, and a different photo this morning as well. And that is because it is Julia and my 19-year wedding anniversary. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that today. So it might interest some, won't interest others, and that's fine. But it's a little bit of history for me to always look back on the older channel. So yeah, we'll start talking about that in a bit. In regards to administration, what's everybody else up to today? Is it a normal working day, school day, leisure day? Are you on holiday? Where are you watching from? What time is it? Loads of questions thrown at you right at the beginning, and then yeah, we will crack on soon. So good morning to anyone new sort of joining up with the channel. We try and do these lives most mornings now. There was some discussion that we may start sort of alternating this, sort of maybe doing it on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm sort of monitoring it this week to see how we go. Then I'm going to make a decision at the weekend as to how we do it, because I just don't want it to become repetitive, especially with the walk having to really be the same. So it's tough. Okay, so 19 years today, Julie and I got married. We'd been together 8 years prior to getting married, and actually been engaged 3 years. So it was quite a long engagement, but we'd always sort of planned when we got engaged that we wanted to move in together first, and we managed to do that in the late November 2004. Thank you for the like, and hi to Dark. Sorry, my eyes aren't that good. And yeah, we moved in together in the November 2004, just literally before Christmas. So we'd actually been living together 2 years before we actually got married. And yeah, I do think you need to live together before you get married. I'm sure most people would agree with that. Just to make sure. Don't know if I should say that or not. Make sure Julia didn't snore. All that sort of stuff. Anyway, laughing aside, it was the right thing to do. I actually proposed to Julia on her birthday, which is July the 10th. I wanted to say her 30th birthday, but it wasn't. I know it damn well it wasn't. So if it was... yeah, I think it would have been her 22nd or 23rd birthday. I can't remember, and that's awful. But yeah, we'll say if it was July 2003, she would have been 22. Morning to everyone. Yeah, the day is young, but yeah, it's very good. Very chilly this morning in the UK. As I said at the beginning. So yeah, I proposed to Julia on her birthday. We lived together for 2 years. Obviously, as with all wedding planning, it was not all absolutely plain sailing, because things do go wrong, but everything that sort of seemed to slightly go wrong, we managed to rectify. Like forgetting to organise the flowers, and literally it was a mad panic to find someone, and I literally, along with Julia, more me on this occasion, which I was quite surprised about, literally begging someone to do our flowers, and I almost sort of said, here's a cheque, write some figures on it to get it done, because it literally, I think it was about 3 to 4 weeks before the wedding, and we just had to get it done, and it was perfect from that point of view. Respective stag and hen days, Julie and I went to Tallinn, which is Estonia, and Julia went to Budapest in Hungary. Both parties had a very, very good time. And then, as I say, finally got married in 2006 at 3 o'clock in Royston, where you see me doing the live strolls before, and you would have seen the church. I've pointed it out on multiple occasions. Come on, Azra. Obviously, it's a reincarnation of the church, because unfortunately there was a fire there a few years back, so it's not quite the same, but obviously the shell is still the same. Do like and subscribe, it does really mean a lot to the channel. So yeah, and then honeymoon was to Kenya. We were there for just under 3 weeks, and we did the most amazing safari. We saw the big five, which obviously not everyone gets to see in their own habitat, so we were very, very lucky. It was a private safari, so it was just us and the driver again at the time, Azra. Right, she's going to the loo, so just bear with, guys, I am still here. Just got to sort her out first. Won't be a minute, guys. Come on, let's go. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. Nature called for Azra. Yeah, so it was just us, the driver, in this sort of safari truck thing, and we sort of went off. Not the beaten track. It was all perfectly safe, but I think sort of the organised safaris, they sort of keep to their tracks, and if you see things, you see things. This bloke wanted us to see stuff. Yeah, take care as well, Lennox. Hopefully you'll join up tomorrow. And yeah, couldn't have wished for a better safari from that point of view. We were very, very lucky. Yeah, I mean, we've had a very, and of course Julie was here as well, but I think she would agree. We don't argue, Julie and me. We sometimes have disagreements, and then we agree to differ on things. Sometimes we come to compromise, as with everything. But no, Azra, come on. We've had a very, what I would say, as straightforward marriage as you can have, and hopefully that continues for another 20 years. It is, I think we're just very compatible, and I think that's really important. It's not all about one taking and all that. It's about give and take in anything. Obviously, we're very blessed to have had James in 2011. And he continues to make us proud and thrive every day. And you can't have a better legacy than your children, I don't think. So yeah, we're obviously very proud of him and what he's achieved, and hopefully what he's going to go on to achieve. So that is all I can say on that. But yeah, I think Julie's my soulmate, and I think I knew that very early on. I mean, we met. We've got a dog coming the other way, so we're just going to have to be careful for a few minutes. I think he's actually turned off. I think he's seen it. That's good. Unless he's going to carry on. I remember very clearly when we were still sort of living where we used to live, both of us, in the family home. I'm not talking about when we moved in together. I said to Mum and Dad, she's the one. She's the one. And obviously, I wanted to propose a lot earlier, and they said, no, just see how it goes. Don't rush. I was quite young. I mean, if we're saying Julie was 22, I would have said I probably would have sort of had those thoughts maybe from maybe my 21st, maybe Julie's 21st. I remember the conversations. I can't remember the exact sort of timescale, but it was definitely probably a year or so before we finally did pop the question. So, it was very much, I knew at the time she was the one, and here we are 19 years later. And well, I mean, when you actually think about it, we've been together since 1998. So obviously a long old time. We met at college. I should have said that really at the beginning, we met at college. And Julie's first memories of me, and again, if she was here, she's probably still asleep. She's probably not even watching this morning. But her first memories of me, I lost my temper in a maths. Not a maths. It was more finance, because we were doing a business course at the time. And I just lost my temper with someone across the other side of the room because they were just not letting the teacher teach a lesson. And I launched a calculator across the room, smashed into about a million pieces, all the buttons went everywhere. And that's Julia's first memory for me. Even now, she tells that story. And yeah, she will say that is her absolute first memory. I was then made to leave the class, which I was a good boy at school and college, as you can probably imagine. I didn't like the grief, and Mum and Dad were quite strict as well, to be fair. So yeah, it was a bit of college wasn't so bad. Obviously, I got called back in to speak to the teacher, and he said he totally understood why I'd done what I'd done, but I couldn't be launching things across the room, which is fair enough. He's got a point. Anyway, that first week, the next day was a free day, so obviously back then there was no mobiles and stuff like that, so I didn't speak to Julia. Next day she came in and said, I think I've decided I'm going to stay with my current boyfriend, who she'd already told me she wasn't happy with. And I said, well, it's up to you, isn't it? I said, but you already told me you're unhappy for various reasons, which I won't bore you with. Anyway, we spoke about it, and she went away. Next day, which was the Friday, I believe, she came in and said, yeah, want to give it a go. We didn't go out that weekend, and I can't remember why, but our first date was during the week, sorry. And as has been very traditional with Julia, she was late for our first date. Well, she wasn't late. I went to pick her up, and I was at the point where we agreed to meet, and she wasn't there. Anyway, so she was late. Anyway, long story short, it all got sorted out, and here we are. So that is basically the history of 19 years of marriage, and obviously, prior to that, as I said about 5 minutes ago, we've been very lucky and very fortunate that our marriage, for the most part, for all parts, not most part, all part, has been great. We don't argue, we have disagreements, but we don't argue, we just sort of have heated conversations for a few moments, and that's it. I wouldn't classify it as an argument because it's over before it even starts. But we just basically are very compatible and always there for each other, and whatever sort of life throws, and life does throw curveballs, and I think it's just the supporting of your partner, married or not married. So try not to get too philosophical this morning, guys, but it does go without saying that if you don't support your partner, your spouse, your family, whoever it is, it's not conducive for a happy scenario, is it really? So that's the way Julie and I have always been. Unfortunately, family members do pass, that being the most traumatic of times. I think in any relationship, because it's sort of that understanding the situation. Obviously, I am only 1 year older than Julia, and I had lost sort of great-grandparents and a granddad before I met Julia. So sort of I'd been through it, and it doesn't get any easier, does it? But when Julia sort of went through it with her grandparents, and I then went through it with a grandma, and then another grandma a lot later, and then unfortunately my father as a few years ago, it's understanding that person's needs at the time, and just being there, and I think that's important. As I say, I'm trying not to get too philosophical, but I can't think I can use any more better example than sort of bereavement as a sort of a there for you moment in its entirety, because that is absolutely what you need to be. And every situation is different, and every situation needs different understanding. So you can't treat one situation exactly the same as another, because it just isn't, is it? That is basically what I wanted to say about the 19 years we've been together. I'm sure I've missed something out. We've had loads of great holidays, and we've got some great holidays to look forward to as well. For our 10-year anniversary, we went to Las Vegas, and it was the most insane holiday I think we'd ever done, and we just did not stop for the week we were there. But I don't regret it at all, and it cost us loads of money, which I never would spend normally, but it was great. And then next year we've already got booked a week in Orlando. Now we're not going to be doing the Disney and Universal parks, so we will go to Disney Springs and City Walk, but we are doing Discovery Cove, SeaWorld, Wild Florida and Aquatica. I booked Discovery Cove for our actual wedding anniversary day, swimming with the dolphins, which will be great. But if you pay another 30 quid, you get the 14-day ticket for Aquatica, SeaWorld, Busch Gardens if you want it. I've got loads of cars all of a sudden just coming behind me. I don't know if I think they will be coming past me, so I have to be a bit careful. So I paid the extra 30 quid, and sort of it's given, instead of us having just downtime sort of every other day, which would have been all right, but one of the days that I said downtime, we're actually going to Aquatica, which might as well be a down day, because you can get there early and leave really when you want. It's free money really, so we might just go there for a morning or an afternoon, whatever, probably the morning, and then please ourselves after that really. So anyway, that's a long way in the future. Got Disneyland to look forward to in 24 days. So if you've been following the countdown on the channel, thank you for that. If you haven't, it comes on every day. So we are continuing along the high road. I haven't done any real running commentary of the village this morning, so I'm sorry if people are new to the channel. If you are new to the channel, join up tomorrow, similar time, and I will give a bit more, or feel free to watch any of the other lives around this sort of time on the live, and you will see, come on Azra, I do most mornings give a little bit of a running commentary as to where we are, what places are, but this morning I was talking about the wife and life, so yeah. What time is it where people are watching from this morning? As they currently in the UK, it's 5:30 AM and it is cold this morning. I'm warmed up now, but when I came out of the house, it was chilly. And I even said at the beginning, one of the first mornings I thought I can feel chill on my face and my hands, which are obviously the only sort of exposed places. Come on, Azra. There we go, back in the picture. So we'll do the wooded area and the science part this morning. We didn't do it yesterday because I had the wrong shoes on, but we'll do it this morning. So if you haven't seen that before, stick with it. I'll be there in about 5 minutes. The light does get a little bit bad for a bit. Although Azra's got her landing light on and I've got 2 little lights on. But I think the batteries are beginning to get a little bit weak on my lights. Come on, Azra. Come on. Sniff, sniff, sniff. Fast, fast, fast. Come on. Here she goes. I have got a light on my hat. Shouldn't get too dark. But the problem is, it reflects off the screen, so I can't always see it. But I might have to put it on in a minute. If it gets too dark. And just suffer it for a few minutes. I've got to put my watch on. What's it saying I've been doing now? Well, I've done over a mile, which is right. It'll correct itself in a minute. That's one of my first things I do. It's because I was setting up this very important live stream to talk about me Julie. I forgot about putting my watch on. Come on, Azra. I think you're moaning because it's colder this morning. I hope not. But it's only going to get colder, dog. Azra? Azra? She's not even looking at me now. Good girl. Okay, so we are currently heading up the moor, which is where we were usually coming out of when we had the light from the country walk. And then we're just going to cross over and go towards the wooded area, which I've been through many times before, but as I say, it just gets quite dark quite quickly. If you are new to the channel, do make sure you like and subscribe. The channel continues to grow nicely, which is all I can ask. We hit the magic 500 subscriber just over a week ago now, and it's continued sort of to go up from there. These live streams, as I say, I've been talking to you all about whether it's worth sort of keeping them going every day of the week. I've had a good number this morning, which has been nice. It's when you only get sort of a handful of views that I get downbeat. because it's obviously you can't continue talking to yourself when you've only got a handful of people watching, so it's nice to have had more this morning. Isn't it, Azra? Nice to people watching you? You don't care, do you? You're coming out anyway. Right, so I'm going to put my hat on. Now, yeah, it's not too bad on the screen. It doesn't affect you guys other than it gives a little bit more light. But what it does do is reflects off the screen, as I've said. Come on, miss. No. Not rabbits. Rabbit poo there. If you could just see my breath then on the phone. That's how cold it is this morning. It's definitely turned this week. Last week it was threatening to. Come on, Azra. Last week it was threatening to. Over this side, come on. Azra, come on. Yeah, last week it was threatening to, and it did a couple of days. This morning, or this week, it definitely has. Even the weekend was quite pleasant. But yeah, this is the start, guys, of the chilly time. I'm nearer the time I'm trying to get an idea of what the weather's going to be doing when we're in Europe. Azra, come on, girl, good girl. I don't know if she wanted to go to the toilet or not. She's already been once, so we'll wait and see. I'm sure she's going to go. She'll go when she wants to go. Oh dear. This seems to be her favourite spot. You going again, miss? Is this just a wee? No, it's another poo. Right, guys, just bear with. Just got to sort that out. Good girl. Right, there we go, guys. We're back. Right, sorry about that. For the second time this morning, nature called for Azra. Alright, so as you can see, we're now over at the moor. Not the moor, what am I saying that for? The wooded area. Between Azra's landing light and my hat, you can actually see where we're going, which is quite good. I'd actually forgotten how bright this hat light was when it's fully charged. Obviously, that brightness only lasts for so long as it dwindles down, but decent enough for short periods. And I'll have to get all the lights on charge when we get home because they are getting very dim now. Go on, Azra, lead on. Good girl. Right, guys, I think we're going to call it a day here. Thank you very much for watching. I'll just sort of show you as we come out into the science park, and then we'll come off. Go on, Azra. Come on, good girl. So yeah, we're in the science park now. Right, guys, I hope you have a lovely day, whatever you're up to, and we will reconvene tomorrow. Cheers.